For me, just being down by the river, where we are at the moment, on the Arcadian Thames, is the most special place to be. It is quite magical. We've got the wonderful historic town centres, and then in between them we have these incredible stretches of countryside. And all around us are trees, footpaths, cycleways, the boats going past, the kingfishers, the swans, all the wonderful flowers that we get along the river. It is quite magical. There is something for everyone. Families can come down, have a stroll down by the river on one of the towpaths, have a picnic. There are so many open spaces in this part of London. And the best thing about the open spaces is they are all connected. They are connected by the towpaths, they are connected by the cycleways. The wonderful parks and open spaces are the legacy of successive generations of the royal family. What they liked about this part of the world along the River Thames here was the peace, the quiet and the natural beauty. And then, because the royal family were here, the aristocrats moved in. And they constructed in between all the historic palaces the wonderful houses we have here. And so this part of London became the playground for the capital.
Richmond is unique in the fact that we have fantastic attractions. We're home to Kew Gardens, we've also got Hampton Court and Twickenham Rugby Stadium. We welcome approximately 4.5 million visitors to the borough every year, and also we're 20 minutes away from central London. Richmond is known for the pubs and restaurants along the riverfront, but also we've got the history and the heritage, the royalty. We're also known for King Henry VIII resided at Hampton Court Palace, and we've also got the Kew Palace as well as the Richmond Old Palace, the ruins. There's fabulous shopping from High Street to the unique boutiques. There's a little lanes, Brewers Lane, which used to be the High Street during Queen Elizabeth I. And also there's the Richmond Hill, boutiques and shops that lead you up to the iconic view, which has been protected since an Act of Parliament in 1902. We're 8 miles away from Heathrow. You can come via the Underground, there's the Overland. Alternatively, you can take a 490 bus, which takes you directly to Richmond Station.
Here at Richmond Boat Hire, we have many different types of rowing boats to go from traditional wooden rowing skiffs to our fiberglass everyday skiffs. We rent them out sort of all through the summer. It's very, very popular. We have lots of people coming from quite far to come and rent out a boat. And then we also get quite a few of the local residents as well. Everybody seems to love it, which is great. We have tourists from all around, sort of every nationality that you can imagine really, just coming down, and then lots of Londoners as well. Sort of everybody seems to love it and come down. It's so nice to be able just to have something there that you can do. And it's also one of the close places kind of in London. It's one of the main places for boat hire. It's just such a nice, relaxed atmosphere. There's no kind of hassle, no bother for anybody, and you can just absolutely relax.
The park's one of the largest, if not the largest, green space in London at 2,500 acres, and it's internationally important for wildlife. One of the key features you'll see in the park is the veteran trees, and we've got a population of something like 1,500 veteran trees. The oak trees, which make up the majority of them, are said to be between 500 and 700 years old, and there's a historical reference that make them sound even older. They're great to look at, the magnificent structures of the old gnarled branches, and the decaying wood supports a whole range of wildlife known as saprosidic wildlife that lives within the deadwood in those trees. The park was enclosed for the deer by Charles I, who was particularly keen on hunting them, but nowadays we've got about 650 deer in the park, so we've got a breeding population of about 350 fallow deer and about 300 red deer. I think you'd be hard pushed to find any major city in the world to find an area that's just so good for wildlife, so accessible to so many people, and this close to the very centre of a large city.
Kingston is a really historic area. It's been a market town for a very long time. It originally had the 7 Saxon kings crowned here, so it's been a river crossing for 1,200 years. It's totally embedded in the history of this country. Currently, we're one of the best shopping centres there is in the UK. We've got a market open 6 days a week which sells everything from vegetables through bread, cheese, fish. It is phenomenal to still have a market operating in that way. Because it's got a riverside, we've got a good cross-section of both the national brands, but also some very, very special places. We've got Frère Jacques, which is a French restaurant, a one-off of its type and be long established. And all of that is sitting on the back of our fantastic new theatre, The Rose.